And hello all, and welcome to the Lala Madness Fierce Review. This is episode 9. And you can follow me on SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Lala Madness. Also, check out the radio station, Lala's House of Madness.com, and also send your submissions MP3 to LM Fierce Review, FIERCE Review at gmail.com. And today we will be discussing a few things. The topic is going to be drug makers as far as pharmaceutical drugs, for those that are wondering, the Catholic Church, and also the government shutdown. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So as far as the drug makers raising prices, so the drug makers are raising prices. That goes into effect today, for those that are unaware. According to CBS this morning, and thank you very much for the tea there. 36 pharmaceutical drug makers, including generics, increased their prices today. So now the drug makers for Allergen, which is a popular pharmaceutical company, they've increased their price to 9.5% on 27 of their products, stating that they are committed to responsible pricing. A 9.5% increase. Why are they saying that they're committed to responsible pricing? Is because they said that they would not increase it over 10%. So you go with the 9.5. I guess you did stick to your word there. So, all right. Not the whole 10, but 9.5. I mean, you might as well made it like 9.99. I mean, same thing. But at the end of the day, your drug prices will rise. So good luck to those that don't have insurance and need those medications or whatever have you. I hope your medication is not one of the 36 that's on the list there. All right. And the Catholic Church. Now this one here. This is also reported by CBS News this morning. So basically they started off by talking about the 300 clergy members, which is I guess a usual thing. They're meeting at the Magdalene Cemetery. Oh, I'm sorry, seminary. Not the cemetery. Don't send them there yet. Not yet. All right. The Magdalene Seminary near Chicago, Illinois, which they're going to be meeting from January the 2nd through the 8th. So about a week. And it's for a retreat. Whatever's happening at the retreat. Now, the retreat, what they say, will actually focus on prayer and spiritual reflection, not policy making. And this actually comes after there was a lot that was said as far as the grand jury indictment and the grand jury paperwork in regards to the molestation and rape inside of the Catholic Church. That is a public report, so they do have it there, which that's why all of this is coming about now, because it's generally the stigma is that it happens with the priests and with boys. However, it's also happening to nuns and the girls/women as well. So now it comes after the survivors network of those abused by priests, or in other words, SNAP, spoke out about it. So SNAP, not your food stamps, SNAP benefits, not your SNAP benefits, okay, but SNAP, SNAP, which is the Survivors Network for those abused by priests. They got a whole thing about this. Apparently, it's been happening. They got a whole little section set up for those victims that have been victimized. So apparently, it's happening rampantly if you got a whole little section dedicated to victimized people that's been getting touched on and rubbed on and kissed on. But we'll get into that shortly. Now, nuns have been accused of sexual misconduct, sexual abuse, molestation, as well as priests, and that is what is reported by the SNAP Council. Now, in a story that they aired as well, where they did a whole interview with a lady named Trish Cahill, that's Cahil. She was a victim that reported as well to the council back in 1994 to the Catholic Church that she was sexually abused in a convent in New Jersey. Now, apparently the abuse happened prior to 1994. 1994 is when it was reported. So she stated that the abuser is Sister Eileen Shaw. So she remains a nun, but they did restrict her working duties to inside the convent instead of going out ministering or preaching or whatever it is that they do. And that Oh, but they are still paying for her housing, and her food is still paid for by the church. I don't know what funds they're using. So what it says is that they're using, well, what that says to me. So let's go ahead and say that that's my opinion. I'm going to tell you what that means to me. Those are facts that I just reported. However, my opinion is telling me that you can restrict her work, but you're still going to pay for the abusers that, and I'm going to get to it because clearly it's been found out that she did abuse her. Why? Because they paid. Okay, I'm not even going to get to the payoff yet because then I have to say something that's real stank, and then that ain't even going to go with what I'm saying now. So at the end of the day, Eileen, her housing is paid for. So what that tells me is that you are okay, the Catholic Church, you are okay with promoting and continuing to take care of the nuns and also priests, because the priests have been accused of it and found out, or, you know, some have even been convicted. You're still going to pay for their housing and their food. So that's telling the general public as well as the people that's in there that you're abusing that you don't give a damn. That's what that tells me and them. So, okay. So now as well, Trish says that she suffered pretty much many years of drug and alcohol addiction due to Sister Eileen giving her drugs and alcohol when she confided that that at the age of 5, her uncle had been molesting her from 5 years old on up. So her uncle has since passed, so she decided to talk to Sister Eileen Shaw about it in confidentiality, thinking that she would get some kind of help. But she got some help all right, because Miss Eileen Shaw there decided to medicate her with drugs and alcohol, which then caused an addiction problem for her later on in life. And as well, she showed her how to have sex with women. And then she continued to see her all the way up through her adulthood. So from her teens at age 15 all the way up through her adulthood, she continued this relationship, or to be abused, depending on what you want to call it at that time, because Sister Eileen Shaw, you know, you need your ass beat. You ought to be shamed for touching on that little girl at 15. When I come to you at a problem telling you I've been abused, why you gonna say, okay, well, no, don't get abused by men. I'm gonna drug and medicate you, and I'm gonna abuse you myself so I can teach you how to be with women. I don't know what kind of ideology that, like, who came up with that? Who did that? Apparently they doing that. Not who did it. They doing it. It's still happening. It's been happen, whatever you want to call it. It's going to probably continue to happen. And also Trish Cahill called Sister Eileen Shaw a pedophile nun. Now, that word has never been really spoken before in the Catholic Church as being calling someone a pedophile nun or a pedophile priest. But she did use that term. Okay, quote, end quote. I didn't make that up. She said it. Now, she had called, now what the Catholic Church actually did for her, in regards to when she made the report, was paid her off $70,000 in a settlement and offered her prayer. Yeah. I wanted to give y'all that second. That's why I didn't say nothing for me. I want to give y'all a second to let that sink in. So I tell you that y'all abuse me and this is running rampant and this has happened to me for years now. And then you tell me take this $70,000 and we gonna pray about it. Now, and they did give the Catholic Church a chance to respond to the report or the interview, and the Catholic Church says that we paid $70,000 and offer her prayer, so they don't figure they feel like they did everything they need to do. They resolved the issue, so what's the big deal? Is kind of how they brought it. Like, you come to us about what when we paid you. But she says that $70,000 she was paid is not compensating for the drug abuse and how her life was really fucked up afterwards. I'm sure it was. You getting rubbed on and kissed on by a person that you was confiding in. And so you getting drugged by the penis. So she gonna kiss all on you and eat your coochie. How was that? Like, how is that making me feel better? Because later on you gonna give me $70,000? Okay. Anyway. Mary Dispenza is also a former nun. Now, she looked to be about 80 years old, because I did see the actual interview. She looked to me about 80, okay, and she stated that she went and her superior had actually summoned her to a room, which would be someone over her in the Catholic Church, summoned her to a room and kissed her all over her face. Now, she felt that it was wrong, and she heard about the other abuses and cover-ups that went on in the Catholic Church, and they make sure that they hide it very well, is what she stated. So since the story came out from the grand jury, 18 people have come forward saying that it happened to them as well. So now, why is this not general public, general knowledge, general anything? In the Baptist church or any other religion, when something happens there, you definitely put it out there and want everybody to know. But now we're going to talk about the deep run-ins that the Catholic Church has as far as, the hold they have on the United States and what information that they usually hold that either propel us forward or pull us back. But I mean, let's talk about the vault of secret y'all niggas got up there that can't nobody see till 100 years after it's already been published, which you can't go and ask nobody no questions about anything that's reported or said in there because the people are dead at that time, which is the general reason why it's done. So at the end of the day, everything is always been shrouded around secrecy in the Catholic Church anyway. However, that is my report on that. Now, according to the New York Times, they report that Kim Jong-un, who is North Korea's leader. Now, he said that they are back to square one after he went 17 months ago and spoke with Trump, or however many months ago. It didn't work out. Okay, and they kind of didn't mutually agree upon anything at that time. Now, he says they're back to square one in talks on giving up nuclear weapons. Basically, he's saying he's not giving up shit. He said he wasn't giving up shit when Trump came and talked to him. He said he still ain't giving up shit, and it ain't nothing to talk about. So what he said is that sanctions must be lifted before he abandons its nuclear program. So it's clear that they have one. They haven't denied that they have a nuclear program. The United States is nosy as hell, and they want to make sure that nuclear shit ain't coming for us, considering they don't fuck with us like that. That's what it's really about, America. Let's keep it for real. So him and President Trump cannot agree on the definition of denuclearization. So neither one of you guys can agree on it, but y'all keep having conversations about it. And basically what I believe the disagreement may be, okay, is that Trump says disband it, disarm it, take it down, shut it down, whatever, stop researching or whatever you're doing over there, building shit to fuck us up with. And Kim Jong-un said, I don't give a fuck what you say, I'm going to continue to do it. Like, how you going to tell me what to do in my country? Your ass ain't over here. That part. I don't see that they come. I haven't seen another country that come over here and dictate to us what to do, even though we have the United Nations, and I guess that's what it's probably for as well. So anyway, and now as far as the government shutdown, okay, the government shutdown now, it's been happening now for approximately 2 weeks. We're at the 2-week mark. For all of you guys that may not even know we're in a government shutdown right now, we're in one. We've been in one since before Christmas. Let's be clear about that. So Democrats promise action when they take over the House tomorrow on January 3rd, 2019. So the Democrats will be in House, and so therefore they will have control of the House. So now POTUS and Trump, did invite congressional leaders to the White House to discuss the border wall and homeland security, which should be happening today, January 2nd. So it still revolves around this whole border and homeland security issue, to where that is why we're in a government shutdown. Trump stated that he will not sign or continue to operate the government the way it was operating unless we build a wall, and he needs so many billions of dollars to do that. And the Republicans I've seen on do have a GoFundMe page, which they've raised lots of millions of dollars to build this wall their damn selves, which I suggested in another video, which you can check that out as well in one of my Fierce Review videos. Now, as far as the shutdown goes, Nancy Pelosi said that when Democrats take over tomorrow, that she'll sign 2 bills into legislation that will open the government back up immediately and have it running back to, where we need it to be, kind of not where we want it to be, but at least she's going to have it back up and running because it's affecting the federal government employees' pay as well. Okay, and of course, if a few of y'all haven't realized, your food stamps probably ain't working right either. Check it out. All right. Now, the ways that the government shutdown may be affecting you. So, NPR.org, okay, they're reporting that museums like the Smithsonian and the national zoos and parks are not in operation at this time, as far as employees being staffed and bathrooms being open. Now, the parks, of course, you can kind of come in, go around. The Smithsonian will not be open as well. Like, those things that are federally funded are not open. So, but the parks and stuff, the people can come and kind of still move around a little bit. They just don't have access to the restrooms and to proper staffing. Okay, so 2 weeks into the shutdown, the human waste and trash has been piling up. Now the restrooms are closed and there's minimal to no staff. The people are relieving themselves outside while visiting the park. That will be both ways. Relief is relief. I mean, they bring their own tissue, they shit in the yard, they shit in the park, they pissing on the side, they pissing everywhere. They just whip it out and piss, they just squat and shit. This is what they doing in the parks right now because there's no funding to have the trash taken out and for the toilets to be working and the water to be flushing. Okay. So the residents are complaining at this moment that it's affecting them as well because the trash is piling up and they have to smell shit. So they're complaining as well. Now, your government loans and agents, your government loan agencies where, you would go and generally go to a bank or go to even though some banks, unless you go through a credit union, that is probably going to be funded through your credit union if you have a credit union. If you're going through a real bank, a lot of the banks are going to be using federal funds to do a lot of things. So anything that has to do with a loan, a federal loan, whether that be, your student loan, your all of that is affected. Your home loan, okay? That's federal funds are generally used for that. Okay, so the loans, government agencies have had their strings tied due to funding. So no government is in operation, therefore no funding will be dispersed to assist these people. Now, new housing development grants and housing quality inspections may be delayed. So, and so could loans for new home buyers. Just like I mentioned, new home buyers have loans or need to get loans, and they're generally federally funded. And anything that has to do with a federal fund right now is not happening. Okay, and that's also in regards to you even get your damn inspection. I mean, that's normal, right? Okay. Now, the Small Business Administration also won't be able to process any loan applications that startups and small business owners use to get funding as well. We know small business owners and business owners, period, generally go through the SBA in order to get their businesses funded. But that is a federal program once again, so good luck with that. Now, the Department of Agriculture also announced last week that it won't be issuing any new rural development loans, which are designed to aid home business and utility development in rural areas. Okay. So basically what that's telling me and you is that Nancy Pelosi need to go ahead and open that back up. They need to be flushing them damn toilets in them parks and things because apparently that's an issue right now. And, people can't go utilize things like the museum. And the government being shut down shouldn't affect somebody when they have done everything they need to do to get their credit right and blah, blah, blah. You already put them through hell to get a fucking loan. Now you want to tell me I can't even get one because you want to put shit on pause? Now everybody else's life is going to be dictated and directed around when the government opens back up. Okay, which hopefully Nancy can make that happen. And so you heard it here first as far as on the Lala Madness Fierce Review in regards to the drug makers increasing prices, the Catholic Church molesting people and paying them $60,000 and a prayer in order to get over it, and also the government shutdown. If you want to hear more, you can also like, subscribe, and check out my YouTube channel at Lala Madness. Also, follow me on SoundCloud, Dustspot, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Lala Madness, and Facebook, that'll be at The Lala Madness. Check out the radio station, www.lalashouseofmadness.com. And also, you can submit your music if you are an artist, MP3 submissions. Complete the details in the property section prior to submitting the file. And you can send that to lmfiercereview@gmail.com. That's LMFIERCE review@gmail.com. And ta-ta for now.